session of the Data Science Mastery weekly session. In case you have not registered for this course already, I placed the link for the registration of this course in the description section below. Also, I've provided the codes and data that I've used during the session, and anything that I'm going to use during the session is going to be placed in that same location. So they are all available in the description section. And so with that being said, let's get started with what we are doing for this week. So for this week, we are going to be in the first leg of this, that is the business understanding, determine business objectives, and the CRISP DM process. So we're going to do the CRISP DM process in this particular scenario. So let's get started. Last week, we basically did some brief business understanding of the data, but now let's get deeper into it and do it as per the CRISP DM process, determine the business process. So for those of you who are new for this particular session, I am on a mission to help 1 million people, data science aspirants, non-coder students, or anybody who wants to switch the career, get a job or internship in data science by 2025. And so that's my mission, because of which, due to which, I realized a lot of practice is required, and I sort of wanted to spearhead the practice session for data science. So let's get started with the business understanding now. Now, there are 5 different problem statements that we have, and I'm going to look at each of the variables and understand what the business objective is and sort of make up or guess if I don't have any understanding of it. Again, remember, this is a practice, so our understanding will continue to improve as we do the practice sessions. So I'm going to go to the folder that I have, and I'm going to open the data dictionary for this data. Similarly, I'm going to open the input data, the trained data, and see what we can determine from this. So this is the data that we have. It's you have the variable enrollee ID, city development index, gender, relevance, enrolled university. All of these details are available. And if I had to look at the data, it will look something like this. So first and foremost, let's understand what we need to do in this. What's the objective in this, right? So the objective is for us to classify the people or the employees into looking for a change or looking for a job, not looking for a change and looking for a job change, right? So let's see how many of the people that are there within that are looking for a job change. That's what we're going to model for, right? And not looking for a job change, and see briefly how this will be helping, right? So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to insert a pivot table on the trained data, and let's see what I can do with it. So I insert a pivot table on this. Okay, I'll just expand this a little bit. Okay, and so the number of people that are looking for a job change is 2425. And if I just had to get the count of people that are there within the data set, if I just do say value field settings and say count, I have 18,000 people. So if I had to just take percentage, it will be B4 divided by A4, and that's 13%. Now, this looks like imbalanced class. The balanced class would be that you have, in each of these cases, 50% of them, right? And clearly this is the ones looking for a job change are less than 50%, and that's why this is an imbalanced data set. So we need to keep this in mind, and we will put something like this here, say imbalanced, okay, which is anything less than 50% of one class, that will become an imbalanced data set. Okay. Yeah, we can take a call on maybe let's say plus or minus 50% of this, 5% of this, but for now, let's assume this is the case. Okay, good. So that we have understood. Now, let's just take one variable and see, um, what kind of people are leaving and which kind of variable can help within that, right? So let's just take education level for this example. I'm going to take this here and I'm going to take education level into the rows area. I'm going to take this here and I'm going to change this division like this. Okay, so yeah, so I've taken this and looks like the graduates are looking for mostly looking for a job change, and there are some other people that are there within each of these categories, but mostly this is the category that is going on. Okay, so yeah, so that is one thing that we need to know first, like what are the categories, and obviously we need to go through each of these variables to understand what it is. So for this particular problem statement, we understood that there are some demographics, some company details and their experience details, and if there are if they're any looking for a job change or not. So yeah, this is the first understanding of this problem statement. Now, how will this help the business, right? Let's ask, how will this help the business? Let's look at this, like determine business objective, right? So I'm going to create business objective. Now let's assume that okay, this the HR people are looking at it and they have responsibility to retain the employees and proactively work on people that are looking for a job change so that they can retain the good employees. They want to retain employees as because it takes some time to rehire and then ramp them up and then get them embedded into systems. So they want to retain, and as a practice, the business object, the objective of really the HR people is to understand who are going to leave in a more predictive fashion, and so that they can proactively take action, right? So that's the thing that we can get from this. So I'm going to say who with this. So who is obviously HR team, and then what they want to do is get a list of candidates that have a probability of job change, right? So get a list of candidates that have a probability of job change. If they get get that list early on, they can work on it proactively so that they can most of them avoid leaving, right? Now we cannot change what people are going to leave, but at least it will give a proactive measure or the factors, right? Why they leave, right? So why they are leaving, what factors can they control, right? So there will be something that is motivating them to leave, and so what is it that the HR can intervene in this particular scenario to help them do, right? So these are some of the things that can be driven as a business objective, and so we will definitely build a model that will help us do this. And since it's an imbalanced data set, we are going to take care of that imbalanced while we are doing the problem statement also. So that's one thing that will be there. Now we have some employee with demographics and job details, so that's really good. What I'm going to do now is also create a dictionary of I'm going to create a new dictionary where I can take and keep all these problem statements in one place, right? So for example, I'm going to take the the data like this and transpose it and place it like this, right? So this one is going to be this job change probability, all the features that are available here, right? And again, this is the problem statement, and this is the features. And I'm going to now add some additional details, but what I'll do is I will try to keep all of these problem statements one by one in this place so that I can deal with it or have the repository of the column names that I'm dealing with and categorize and store some of these details. So I'll continue to build this. Let's see how this works out. Anyway, so that's the first thing. I'm going to pick this and I'm going to place it here and see what is the business objective for this particular one here. Hey guys, hey George, Nitish. Yeah, Nitish, I will see if the internet and all of these things streaming can become a little proper. I'm experimenting with the LinkedIn live, and so if I can get that configured properly, it should be good. But yeah, you can check out the YouTube version. YouTube, if it's blur on LinkedIn. Yeah, awesome. Cool. So let's look at the business objective for the bank customer targeting data. And again, we're going to do who, what, why for the business objective. And so let's see that particular data. Now I'm going to close this one. And let's go to the next one. Okay, it's good to solve multiple problems at one time. You just get to get a perspective that you wouldn't otherwise get. But let's see. Okay, so this is the data again. Here we have this is our Y. And again, we have demographics here. Day, month, which campaign, P days, purchase days, days, some previous it has, right? So purchase outcome, purchase days. Yeah. So this looks like a data where we have some demographics of the person. What is the balance? Bank customer target. Okay, so it's customers balance, housing, yes or no. Do they have a loan? Yes or no. Contact, cellular, or whatever it is. Yeah, so there's a bit of demographics and then their purchase history based on the campaign they're from, right? So with this, we want to sort of predict which customers we can target again. So again, this will be marketing team, and the marketing teams can potentially lean on agencies to target these customers, and so we can do either email marketing, and so we will require email addresses or ads or whatever mediums they can go to reaching out to this particular customers, right? And so get a list of customers that have high probability of converting, right? Now, marketing doesn't have a big budget always to reach out to the entire database, all the customers, right? They want to reach out to a small set of customers and ensure they are converting most of them in that. So let's see, what is the conversion criteria looking like, just like the last one that we have. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the Y outcome here now. Yep, Thanks, Nitish. Okay, anyway, so we have this is count. Let's just take, yeah, let's take columns and then we will take count of it. So we have this yeses and nos, and then we're just going to take it by, let's take it by job, let's say. Yeah, let's take it by job and just see. Again, this is just a checking criteria. So it's going to be, again, you have your yeses divided by total. So it's going to be your C5 divided by D5. And you have your percentages again. So again, this is again an imbalanced data set. You see 12% of it, and this is the reality, guys. I mean, you will have rare cases where you have the 50-50 balanced classes. So again, most of them is going to be imbalanced. So either we're going to use class weight within the algorithms, or we're going to use lattice mode to correct this. So any of these methods, but yeah, as you can see, this is also again a small fraction of this. And so out of like 27,000, the marketing team needs, let's say, 5,000 list of customers that they can target so that they can get a similar conversion of, let's say, 3,000 or just 80% of the people that of the 5,000 people, right? So we require, I mean, instead of giving them 27,000 people to target, we are going to give them, let's say a 5,000 people to target, which they can get maximum conversion with, right? So that's one of the objectives for the bank customer targeting. And so we're going to do that for this particular case. Okay, why is for this it will be like limited budget. I don't know if the factors really matter in this, but they just really want a list of customers, right? And so not compulsory, I don't optional will be which factors. Okay, for now they just need a list of customers that can convert well. So that's one of the things. And again, this has a limited it's an imbalanced data set, so definitely going to be something that we need to consider while building a model, right? So these are the two things that we are looking forward. Now, as a homework, guys, you need to continue this practice and do the same thing that I've done for this. I'm going to continue doing it for two different problem statements, but I'm going to trust on you or lean on you to fill this. And I'm also going to parallelly fill this, not during the live sessions, but like while I go back and do it. Maybe I'll have sessions on doing this, but as a homework, whatever I'm doing for these two problem statements, go ahead and start doing it for these three problem statements. So end of it, you will be practicing with me 5 different problem statements. That is going to help you super in a super way that will build your confidence during interviews. Okay, cool. So we have this. Now to close this particular thing, let's just take this. Okay, there's a lot of things that we can do for business objective, but keep it simple. Just move ahead with whatever you know best for that particular scenario. Okay, so yeah, that's the things that we captured. More potential things we are going to get from this, and let's see how we can do that also. So 2 different problem statements. We've understood the business objective, and we've assessed the situation, determined data mining goals, and produce project plan, right? So we need to do all of this. Now I'm just going to go straight into the data understanding as a next step in the next session, where we sort of got like a basic initial understanding of it. But what we will do in this collection, in this particular thing, we will import the data using Python, and we're going to import 2 of the data and set the platform in that next thing. And we're going to continue to build this particular repository. Imagine in this particular, why we are going to build this, the objective of this particular thing is that the number of problem statements you're solving, and you're sort of documenting it in this way, and documenting what you did with that variable to get to the best outcomes, then you are creating your own repository of things that you do, and you will not forget anything. When you are in doubt, you could come back to the sheet, refer to it, and then go back and solve the problem that you have there, right? So imagine if you have solved like 10-20 problems, and you've documented all of the problems that you have solved. You will have a lot of confidence to answer and also present and be really objective about how you speak within interviews. So that's the really the objective here, to sort of document things properly. Solving is one thing, documenting is really going to take it to the next level where you don't forget and remember everything. Okay, so next session we're going to import the data. There are some details that we will have, like descriptive statistics, missing value strategy. Is it missing? Does it have missing values or no? Does it have stuff like what transformations did we do? Did we do outlier treatment or no? What kind of encoding methods we used? All of that thing we're going to document here and continue to build this. So yeah, for today's session, we sort of determined the business objective, like built on what we had last week, and got the business objective. Now next stage is to import the data into Python and then understand each of the variable types and do stuff on that. So that's it for today's session, guys. Today's session was simple, just get the business understanding right, and then next session we're going to import the data and work and build this the repository that we are building for all the things that we are doing. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for joining this session. If you want to continue the series and continue to practice with me, guys, just join into the course that I have put in the comment section, and then I will be placing all of the videos in that place so that you can get access to the data, get access to all of the things that I'm doing here, material, and also get email notifications of whenever I go live. I am starting it completely unorganized right now, but I will continue to develop and keep it organized and ensure that this session continues every week, at least once or twice on this practice session. So it's going to be tight half an hour session, and you get to practice another half an hour with whatever you have learned on this session. And so we're going to continue this rhythm. So join with me, and let's continue this journey towards in the next